Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. It's early Saturday morning. Three games on the board for today. Before we jump into those, we'll recap yesterday. And I had one of the worst days I've had in a while. 0-2 day yesterday. I ended up on, and I gave you guys the plays that I was on yesterday. Um, Honestly, I can't even, what did I play? I played Phoenix last night. Got the best of the number, but Phoenix is a team that not Phoenix, Portland, a team that really just can't be trusted. Not when they land points, I guess, or they're expected to win. But if you don't expect them to win, they can win and they can cover. They lost against Toronto without Marina Mabry, got the best of the line. Just wasn't able to come through yesterday. And I took them on the money line and got a good price too, like minus 120. Um, and then the other play was on what was the first game of the night? Oh, the under between the Minnesota Lynx and the uh, Washington Mystics. And I don't, for some reason, Washington just wanted to play fast like Minnesota did. And it did not work out in their favor. Just turned the ball over a ton of times. Minnesota was able to get out on the break. And, Washington, a good team, but still a young team. Minnesota took advantage of that. And, was able to score the basketball yesterday. Minnesota also gave up some points. The game was just played super fast yesterday, faster than I thought it would be. So 0-2 night yesterday. I didn't do well the night before either. I remember that night vividly. I had Aces first half. I had Aces first half team total over, which did get there. But they struggled against Connecticut in the first half. I think they had a 1 point lead. And then I had Indy against Dallas as well. So it's not been great for me recently. We have been really, really hot, but cooling off a little bit and need to definitely get things back in the right direction. So hopefully we can do that today, man. I hopefully hope that you guys have been able to find some ways to cash some tickets, man. Let's jump into it for today. We'll start off with Jackson, your AI Sports Betting tool. It's linked in the description as it always is. I asked Jackson the same prompt because Jackson's been money. This one actually cashed again yesterday. It was Camila Cardosa over her points, rebounds, and assists at 24 and a half, and she finished with 28. So, and then before that, it was, Jackie Young over her points and rebounds. She cashed that easily. So we're going right back to the well. Today's prompt is analyze today's WNBA slate to identify the highest value opportunities for player props. Focus on line that show a significant discrepancy against 5 game rolling averages, tracking changes in usage rate due to injuries or favorable defensive matchups. Target matchups for points, rebounds, or assists. Provide the data, underlying metrics, and reasoning for each recommendation. So Jackson likes Kelsey Plum over her points, rebounds, and assists. This is, of course, if she plays. She's listed as questionable. The line's 18 and a half, and Jackie likes her, and Jackson likes her over. It says that pretty much that is mispriced just based on her usage rate. It says Plum comes into tonight's game averaging 30.06 combined points, rebounds, and assists for the season. The line sitting at 18 and a half is 11 points under her average. That's not a minor discrepancy. The books have this one posted have this posted closer to her floor than her reality. And it says there's no near-term sample that supports this low number. Over her last 5 games, she's gone over 80% of of the contest, averaging 22.6 points, and the same 80% over in her last 10 at 27.1. Stretch that out, and it gets even more lopsided: 86.7% over her last 15, 85% over her last 20. And of course, this, take all this with a grain of salt because she could be back on a minutes restriction, which is probably the case, man. But it looks like Hard Rock has this at 18 and a half points, rebounds, and assists at plus 105. Jackson also likes Cameron Brink over her rebounds and assists at 5.5. I'll give you guys another one. This one is a little juiced at on DraftKings, and I like this one as well. Minus 135 at DraftKings. She's over in all of her over the 5.5 rebounds and assists in 100% of her last 5 games, 100% of her last 10 games. She's been crushing it, averaging 9.2 and 8.2 in those respective windows. So yeah, I like that one as well. There's a couple looks on here today that I think are pretty good. So yeah, that's what Jackson likes. Again, linked in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out. Let's jump into the games for today. Let me get over to my screen and my notes. Get this first one highlighted. So first one is Indy in New York, and this is the only one that I bet so far. I'll be completely honest with you guys. This is what I bet, and I got it yesterday. I did bet it yesterday. So we look at the injury report. Let me just hit the refresh button really quickly. because when I'm capping this game yesterday, I didn't even see that Little Boston was listed as questionable. Caitlin Clark is listed as probable, and then I did see that Leonie Phoebus was going to make her return. She'll probably end up being on the minutes restriction for sure. And then Jackwell Jones, who went down in the last game against Chicago, is also listed as game time decision, but she said that she's going to play. So just know Sabally, if Jackwell does go and Phoebus does go, which in my opinion favors New York, man. You got Indy. I bet on Indy, and I don't think it's an overreaction from them not being able to win that game against Dallas the other day, because they have been hot. I think they still won like 7 of their last 10. But they did see that 5-game winning streak come to an end when they lost to Dallas 2 nights ago. And I just don't like the spot. Situationally, it sets up a lot better for New York in this game. This is the fourth of a 5-game road trip with tons of travel. Of course, they were in Atlanta, and then they went to overtime. Then they went to Toronto, and then from Toronto to Dallas, and then from Dallas to New York. And it's been like every other day too. So it sets up situationally for New York, and New York needs this one. They beat this Indy team to start the season. In that first game, that was the only one we seen went under the total. What was it? It was I think it was like 85 to 78 or something like that. And that's when New York was playing much better basketball. As of late, New York has not been playing really good basketball at all. But I'm gonna go out on the limb and take them here. Actually, already took them, and I got a +1.5. This line is just sits moved, but if I plan it now, I just take them on the money line. I do think and then you could potentially wait until see what happens with Aaliyah Boston. If she gets rolled in, this line should come back down a little bit, maybe down to 1.5. Maybe it's a pick. But I like New York coming off a loss, to Chicago in a game that Jocko Jones got injured in. I know that they haven't been great defensively, so I also consider their team total over because Indiana defensively is not great. Like, they couldn't score the basketball against Dallas, but I just think that the longer this road trip goes on, the more likely it is not to fade them. I don't like the spots for them. So I like that New York is coming off a loss. It is their first game back home off a 2-game road trip. They have failed to cover 4 in a row. And they have played in 3 straight unders as well, but they have won 7 of their last 10 games, and they have a 2-day rest advantage here. And they also got double revenge. Like, they won the first game against Indy, but Indy been smoking them since then. Indy has beaten them twice, and neither one of those games were close. They beat them by 20. The Fever beat this New York team by 20. Then they beat them by 18, and they scored 106 and 108 in both of those games. So I think New York finds a way. Having Leonie Phoebus back is going to help. Jacko Jones, of course, they definitely need her. But having Phoebus back to kind of slow down some of the, some of the Indiana Fever stuff. I also just didn't like what I saw from Caitlin Clark shooting the ball a million times last game against Dallas. We'll see if they're able to change that, but I don't like that either. Don't like it's the 4th straight road game. I got a couple systems on just home teams in general with more rest before and after the game, because New York doesn't play again until I think like the 27th. And Indy, I forgot to mention this, but they play again tomorrow. They got Chicago tomorrow in Chicago to end the road trip. So I like New York in this spot, man. I know it's not the greatest. They haven't been the greatest, and Indy has been playing a lot better. But I do think that they're favorites for a reason in this game, and I do like the New York Liberty in this one. That's the way I bet it. I also have some systems on the under. I don't think I can play under between these 2 teams though. This total has come down though. It's one. Well, actually, it hasn't. See what happened with Aaliyah Boston, but I had this one under. If I'm playing under, as hard as it is to do, I probably just take Indy team total under. They have been going. I think they're 5-5 to the under, over under in the last 10 games, but that's primarily been because the totals have just been so high. So New York has been a team that's playing a lot of overs on the road, but when you catch them at the crib, they have gone under in some games this season. Real quick, let's just look at it. I just know it off the top of my head, but so Liberty on the road 16-4 to the over. Liberty at home are 11-6 to the under. So 11-6-1 to the under, staying under by about 5.5 points. They played in 3 of their last 4 under. 4 of their last 6 have actually stayed under the number at the crib as well. And they average about 167. Yeah, yeah. I think under's the right play, man. But I would just play the Fever team total under rather than the full game under. Fever team total is 92.5 on FanDuel. But again, wait for Aaliyah Boston as well. All right. Next game up is I'm doing one time. I'm doing all right. Let's see. Next game up is Connecticut, Los Angeles, and I hate this game. Two teams that aren't really going anywhere. I don't have a lot of anything on this game, but we will start with the injury report. Ariel Atkins is listed as probable on the Los Angeles side of things, and then Aaliyah Edwards and Brittany Griner are both still out. Connecticut took my money last game when they were playing in Las Vegas, and I wanted to go to Moneyball real quick. I want to show you guys some of the situational stuff in this game as far as like trends, because there's a couple things that I think are good bets. I just don't know if I want to actually bet on this game at all though. So if we go, this is Moneyballer, always linked in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out as well. Probably the best one-stop shop you're gonna find for being able to cap uh, a lot of different things, honestly. But all right, so Suns and Sparks. So we got teams coming off a loss with travel and more rest, um, both in their last 5 games. So if they have less losses, they're coming off a loss with less travel and more rest. So this favors the Connecticut Sun. And then another, if you know, under system. Because the last time that these two teams played, the Connecticut Sun did beat this Sparks team. They were 2.5 point home dogs, I think it was. And the Sparks were shorthanded in that game. They didn't have everybody. But what I want to show you guys is the Sparks just being so poor at home. Specifically in the first half, 11, 24, and 1 ATS. So they really struggled in the first half. The Sun have been good in the first half. Full season, 20 and 15 as road dogs, 10 and 7. This is where they took my money the other day. And then for the full game, they don't really care anymore. After the first half, they just kind of pack it in, and they only 6 and 11 ATS. The Sparks, conversely, they don't cover in the first half or for the full game. And if they land points, just 2 and 5 ATS. So I can't get there with the Sparks at all. But I don't want Connecticut either. Connecticut coming off their loss, they look good against Vegas though, specifically in the first half. And then the Sparks look terrible. They gave up 124 points to the Atlanta Dream in that last game. And I don't see any reason for them to start just playing hard now. The season is over for both of these teams, which makes it a game that I don't really want to talk too much about. But I do think that the first half is a Sun spot, and I do think the first half probably goes over as well. Even though the Sparks are 21-14 and 1 to the under in the first half, and 5 and 2 to the under if they're laying points in the first half. The Sun just really pushed pace. I was watching them against the Aces. They really pushed pace. The other thing to mention is like I think the last time these two teams played last week, Sparks were down a couple players as well. So getting those players back, maybe you just bet on Cameron Brink. But I think first half over. I think Sun first half, maybe just Sun first half team total over would be the ways to play this game. I'm not looking to play anything full game, but I think you get in and get out with the over or the Sun in this spot. Just can't lay points with the Sparks. All right, that's that one. All right, last game is last game is let's see, Atlanta and Phoenix. So line in this one is right about 5. So double check real quick. Open 5, 4.5, 5, and total open 176. Is still averaged about 176.5, and I think it's for a good reason, man, because I mentioned it already, but Kelsey Plum, who we talked about, is listed as questionable in this game, and that's everything you need to know. I mean, it's not that Phoenix has been playing good at all. Phoenix has been bad, and they're writing on the wall for them too. They have been pretty terrible as of late. Looking at the injury report in this game, outside of Kelsey Plum being listed as questionable, Bree Jones is listed as out, and Atlanta has been really pushing pace without Bree Jones. And I mean, they have just been able to really score the basketball. If you go and look at what they've been able to do offensively, just really kind of running it up, man, against everybody. They scored 124 against the Sparks, 97 against the Aces, 91 against the Fever, and 104 against Connecticut. um, 107 against Toronto. So offensively, they've been playing really, really good. This Phoenix team is top five in pace over the last 5 games or post All-Star break in general. So they're playing fast, but no defense. And I would just bet on Atlanta to be able to score the basketball again. I know it's their third straight road game. I know they played, 3 of their last 4 on the road as well. They got the Sparks up next. That game will be played on Monday. So a rematch against the Sparks, not a look ahead spot in my opinion. Phoenix does have a significant rest advantage. They have not played in 6 weeks. 6 weeks in 5 days is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know. I think it's really, really telling. And the reason why I say the writing's on the wall because Diana Taurasi retired jersey last Sunday, and they still couldn't get a win. They couldn't even beat the Phoenix, the Portland Fire, and end up losing that game by 3. They've lost 4 of their last 5, haven't covered any of them. In Atlanta, I hate laying points with them on the road, but I'll probably be looking towards their team total over, just thinking that they should be able to score the basketball. Again, Phoenix has been not good. Matter of fact, I'll show you guys real quick, and then we'll look at some player props and get out of here. So, we got about 5 minutes. So, team total for Atlanta is 90.5 on FanDuel at minus 106. I mean, I just read you guys the numbers. I'm not sure why they wouldn't be able to get to 90 in this spot. Portland allowed 88 to Phoenix. I mean, to Portland allowed, hold on, Phoenix allowed 88 to the Portland Fire, 87 to the Los Angeles Sparks, 95 to the Washington Mystics. And those are not good offenses. These are like bottom 5 offenses. The last time that these two teams played, Atlanta scored 96 as well, and won the game and covered 96 to 82 as well. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I just think Atlanta should continue to be able to score the basketball, even though they, are due for, I guess, a little bit of regression. I still think that they should be able to score, and the pace that these teams have been playing at, I think, is more of an over game. I also got a 60% trend on the over as well, and that's the way I would be looking. But real quick, if we go back to the money baller, we go to this game and just show you guys what I was looking at. So if we go Atlanta and Phoenix and we just go post All-Star break, Kelsey Plum being back only gonna help the offense and not the defense. We know that already. But just look at the pace. Dream are second in pace, Mercury fifth in pace. If we do adjusted pace, Dream is second, Mercury are fourth. But look at this defensive rating. 11th in defensive rating for 11th in offensive rating for the Mercury. 7th in defensive rating, defensive rating adjusted, 112. And you can see that neither team has been playing against a really strong schedule. Atlanta 12th and Phoenix 11th. So I just think that the you got to catch Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard when they hot, man. They hot right now. Angel Reese also didn't miss a shot in that last game. Like Dream have been good first half, 7-3, which correlates to the total. Dream, well, actually 4-6, but that's been a little bit more their defense. Dream or Dream team total over, I think, would be the plays in this game. You can see last 10 games, well, post All-Star break, last 9 games, Mercury giving up right at 90 points per game. And Atlanta scored 96 per game. So that's the way that I would look at this one. That's the only way that I would look at this one. It's probably the team total, or just play the full, I mean, the team total, or just lay in the points. But see what happens with Kelsey Plum. She is listed as probable. It's questionable. And this game doesn't start until, time does it start? This game don't start until 10 o'clock. So total already going up, though. I do see it 177. Kelsey Plum plays. It should be more of an over game for sure. I think Phoenix would be able to score as well. All right, cool. Let's go to, and I see I spelled total wrong again. Let's go to, I'll lie really quickly. So minimize myself. All right. So as far as player props go, what did I have on the list? Oh, the Cameron Brink. So we talked about Cam at the Miss Brink at the beginning of this the show, but look at this last 10 games, been absolutely cooking. Over in 10 straight, averaging 8.2. Not sure why her line is set so low. Uh, DraftKings is -130. Of course, it's playable. Like, it's Connecticut, one of the worst defenses in the W. Head-to-head wise, she played against them once last year, once this year. Got to 7 in this game as well. Um, I mean, so this one is kind of self-explanatory. I'd be definitely looking at Cameron Brink in this spot. And then I think the other one I had in my notes was I think Stewie has a big game today. Um, in that game. Yeah, I think Stewie will put her head down, get to the rim. She's been the best player, the most consistent player for this team all season. And just the way that she scores the basketball. She hasn't had a good game. Well, a game where she's gone over her points prop in her last 5. In Indy, she only had 19. What did she shoot that game? She shot just 8 for 21, but the shot attempts were there. Head to head this season, 30-point game and a 26-point game. So I think Stewie bounces back in this spot. Her field goal attempts, 15 and 16. We just need her to get to 23. Yeah, I think this is a good spot for Stewie. I'll be betting on her. I feel like she's the most consistent. Well, I know she's the most consistent player. So Stewie is who I'll be betting on in that game. And yeah, it wasn't a ton I like from a player prop perspective. Layla Khan, her first half stuff, maybe. Like, I can't bet her full game stuff, but her first half stuff should be good. Just because they suck in the full game. But 19 and a half is her points, rebounds, and assists. I feel like the minutes have just been kind of inconsistent lately. 30, 28, 23, 20. Like, I don't know. But did she play the last game? Yeah, she did. She only had 17, 10 and 7. 7 and 10. All right, that's cool. I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, I think player prop wise, and I'll never know who it's going to be for Atlanta. It could be Ron Howard. It could be Alicia Gray. Could be Jordan Canada, who did get busy with her assist the other day, like we talked about. Hit the like and subscribe if you guys can. Recap, I did take New York. I would recommend taking them on the money line. I took a +1.5. Connecticut and Los Angeles first half over. That number is, let's see. First half over 85 and a half. I do think we see points early, and then the game slows down, indicative as the total is in this game as well. And then Atlanta and Phoenix over. Best number you can get, 176 and a half. So it is going up now, and I agree with it. I do think Atlanta specifically should also be able to score the basketball. That team total was 90 and a half on FanDuel. Yeah, Phoenix ain't really stopping nobody for real. All right, that is it for today, man. I need to bounce back in the worst possible way. Resources all linked in the description. You guys check them out. Jackson Outline, Moneyball, Odds Jam. Enjoy the Saturday games, man, and I will catch you guys again tomorrow. I'm out.